We are going to Potato Harbor. I guess it's shaped like a potato.
That's what they say.
It's a beautiful day, perfect weather.
Potato Harbor is one of the very famous hikes on this island. I have no idea how many hikes there are on this island, or trails. What do you think?
Many, many, many. However you want to put them together.
We don't know. We'll find out and we'll put it on the screen. Starting out, we take the trail that we did yesterday. I had a really, really cold night last night. I think it got down into the 40s, and we had extremely high winds. And then this morning, the winds were all died down. Thank goodness. And it's warm enough now in the sunshine that all we need are t-shirts. Amazing. I never would have expected that last night.
You can see that there's a lot of erosion here, or there used to be, from back when this was used for grazing for pigs and sheep. But it's all growing back. Nature has a way of repairing itself rather quickly. Wide open spaces.
Yep. Heading back to where we were yesterday, when the wind was so wild, it almost blew us off that ledge.
I see Ventura in the distance over there.
So David's walking next to these bushes, and we are seeing them all over the island. Some of them are, look at that, taller than him. You'll just have to trust me on that.
Looks like jojoba, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looks like a jojoba, but we're not sure. But these mounds are all over the island.
Now that is a guano island. And guano was one of the most valuable things on the planet. It was used as fertilizer before chemical fertilizers were invented with nitrogen and all that. And it was extremely, extremely expensive. And many of the little islands in the Pacific were settled and claimed by the Americans so that they could get the guano.
Tell them what guano is.
Guano is bird poop. Here we have a cove, which is in northern exposure. So I'm sure there's parts of this cove that's so deep that never get sunshine.
As we were coming here, we saw an island covered in cormorants, and they are the ones that are responsible for all this guano. This should be the upper campground, and the only places you're allowed to camp on this island are in the lower and the upper campgrounds.
Oh, you can see so much from up here. Boats coming in, boats going out, birds everywhere. Ventura across the channel. I'm the king of the world.
Path just winds and winds and winds all the way up the hill. So this can be an out and back or a loop trail. And we're strongly leaning towards the loop because then we won't repeat anything and we'll see new stuff. And I believe that goes downhill as well, which is not bad. But I gotta say, this trail is not hard. It really isn't. There's a little elevation gain, mostly at the beginning. And then it's kind of even ground. And the views are spectacular. So let me share with you my theory about videography. If you're going to go hiking or going to go somewhere really beautiful, you might just think, oh, the sun's shining, wonderful. Yeah, no. No, you want it to be a little bit cloudy because everything is so much clearer on a cloudy day. It does sound like the opposite of what you would expect. But trust me, look at my face. Totally bleached out from the sun. If it was cloudy, you'd be able to see the whole thing. So give that a shot next time you go somewhere. Try to go on a cloudy day.
You know, part of me just wants to stay here. It's not like it's crowded. You could just find a spot here, nobody would ever know. And
until you run out of food.
the trails are super well marked, which is not typical. Probably because this place has national park status. And here we have ruins from the old ranching culture. The Channel Islands have had 4 distinct seasons. The first was with the Chumash tribe. It was here from 2000 BC till 1850 or so. Then came the Spanish/Mexicans, and then came the Anglos. And the Anglos brought with them sheep and pigs and grazing. And then after that, we've got the national park area where it's all being restored to the way it was even before the Chumash were here. So there's kind of 4 seasons here in the history of the Channel Islands.
That was an amazing treat. And did you see how unafraid he was? I can't believe it. What a gift to us on this beautiful morning. So from here, it's 0.1 miles to Potato Harbor. Can you hear them? Sea lions, right there. There is no beach access here whatsoever, so the only way you're going to see this is with a boat, or a kayak, of course.
Making Wendy's throne. Principessa.
Principessa. I'm so glad he brought the chairs with him. When he said, "I'll take the chairs with me," I thought, that's overkill. Now I regret my words. He was right. You were right, David.
Ah. What a place for lunch. Peanut butter and cranberry burrito, sort of. It's what we had.
delightful day. Beautiful day. The wind finally stopped, which was such a relief. And the sun came out, and we just kind of relaxed and took our time having breakfast and packing up our gear for a hike. And then we started off on a hike to Potato Harbor.
Yeah, the prep time was really nice. I like a slower pace when we're camping and traveling. Sometimes when we watch YouTube, people are just barreling along to go to places and they feel like they're always behind. And I think that takes the fun out of it. We spent 3 hours this morning just kind of getting our act together, having breakfast, planning the day. And then we had a very leisurely hike, which was, 4 or 5 miles, but we cut it in half and we brought these chairs and we rested in between and talked to people and read and had fun and had lunch. I think the pace, the slower you go, the more you see, the more you experience, and the more you have time for people when you run across them.
Yeah, it was also so nice to just stop there at Potato Harbor and just sit in these chairs and just absorb the beautiful view, feel the sunshine on our shoulders. We had planned to read, but nothing really came of that because so many interesting people came by. And that was really fun. I enjoyed that a lot.
And we had so much fun with the fox. If you could picture a long straight road and you see a little dot coming towards you, just loping along, and all of a sudden you realize, oh my goodness, this is one of those little foxes. And he just wanted to go past us, basically. And he was on his way to something else, obviously had some business to take care of or some meeting to go to or whatever. And he just kind of sheepishly went around us and continued on. But it was one of the most beautiful encounters I've ever had with wildlife.
So unique. And he really wasn't afraid of us. He was just naturally cautious, but he wasn't afraid of us. And he also wasn't looking for food, I don't think, because we're not allowed to feed them here.
There comes one right here.
Oh my gosh. Just as we're talking about him, there's one right there. Anyway, we're not allowed to feed them. So we have not fed them, and other people haven't fed them. And so they're not looking for food from us. In fact, I'm not even sure they even notice us. He just goes trotting by.
And what's really fascinating is how quickly creation heals itself. These islands were really messed up by overgrazing and all kinds of problems. And that ended just one generation ago. And it's virtually almost back to the way it was before human eyes first set foot upon this place. We found out 13,000 years ago, the oldest human remains in North America were here, which tells me that they were probably seafaring people, not land people that came down through Alaska and found their way into North America. So they might have been Polynesian, Micronesian, Melanesian, I don't know. They might have been,
who knows?
Might have been island people.
Anyway, we just want to tell you it was a great day and we enjoyed it tremendously. We came back to a whole lot of tree trimming, which was really interesting to watch.
Yeah, we'll show you some pictures of that. It was really cool.
You'll definitely see that.
Eucalyptus trees here are not native. They're from Australia and they were brought in by the ranchers. And they grow too fast here and they
have to trim them every once in a while. But if you see us looking like penguins almost in all these layers of clothes, it's because it gets really cold at night. Last night it went down into the 40s. Tonight it should do the same. So we are just all bundled up and the sun has set, and pretty soon we're going to be cooking up some dinner. And before we say goodbye, just want to thank you for watching and so glad to have you along. And stay tuned because there will be more to come.
There's going to be more to come. This place is just eye-popping. There's so much to see, so unique, so unlike any place you've ever been in so many different ways.
That's
right. Couple of practical things. It doesn't cost anything. There's no entry fee to the park. This is a free national park. You have to get here on your own boat or take a rather expensive ferry like we did.
There
comes another fox coming by here.
Fun.
And also you can't bring pets here. So that's very, very important.
You don't want to get here or try to come here with a pet and be turned away. So
and also if you're missing something, you're out of luck. You have to bring everything here. There is no commerce here whatsoever.
No store.
There's no little store, not even a little canteen with a few little things you might need. Nothing.
Nothing.
So make sure you check your list and check it twice before you
Mm.
come across the water.
And bring everything that you need. The one good thing about this island is there is water. So you don't have to bring water, which is a great relief because that weighs a lot.
Most of the other
Yeah.
places you do. Now, if you come on the ferry, there is a weight limit. You can check it out with Island Packers. It's a company that works out of Ventura, and they're the main ferry boat that brings people back and forth here to the Channel Islands National Park. And they are very strictly regulated as to what you can bring and what you can't bring. So make sure you pay attention to that before you get started. You got to plan. We had to do quite a bit of planning before we got going.
So we're going to wrap it up here, and we're going to start cooking some dinner. And you'll see us next time, which for us is tomorrow. Good night. Tonight's dinner is kind of interesting. We got some already fully cooked, prepared vegetable rice and a little can of cut up hot dogs. And yeah, that sounds weird. I know. And we even tossed in a little tapatio. And this could end up being kind of like a soup, but you know, it sounds kind of good. Can't wait to try it. It looks like it's going to be really good.